So
Came here from 5 this morning. Now they're telling us no visa again. It's madness. I'm Kylie Livingstone for TVJ News outside the United States Embassy in Kingston. Came here from 5 this morning. Now they're telling us no visa again. It's madness. I'm Kylie Livingstone for TVJ News outside the United States Embassy in Kingston. Came here from 5 this morning. Now they're telling us no visa again. It's mad. One gold piece that I thought I wanted for myself. I'm gonna show it to you. All right, I'm gonna show it to you. The outside here, I get what.
good night to you all. Wait, that one minute though. Feel like all right. Good night. Good night. Good night. Look here. Nice and fresh. Nice and fresh and icy cold. I try to remember me. Me need for that. Me can't drink half the juice anymore. Patrick Mendes. Me not drink no substance. So me don't know what kind of foolishness this TikToker send me about substance. What kind of substance? What kind of substance is this TikTok? Sometimes I just keep up some people using a platform and I just keep up some foolishness. Let me see how them I say yes. So what? And stupid so much. Sometimes people use the platforms and stupidness and come with. I see way there and I use the platform, good. And somebody report it and say, yeah, do X, Y, Z. I mean, want to know if them now monitor what you do. You don't monitor what happen on the platform. I don't see what people are say. I don't hear what people are say. I don't do. I'm not going to listen to people. No, this is not a substance of alcohol. I don't put up about restriction. And I must know the difference of things, man. Foolishness this. I just stop use them platform. I can't bother the foolishness. I can't operate so. Foolishness, man. I just turn people off. Kimani, good night. Patrick, good night. Primrose, Louis. Millicent Robinson. I from Jamaica. When not know why the immediate ill assumption. I know. I noticed this. I said well one night, but I stream and I talk about politics. And some one of them reported say, oh, me I do nudity. And them I send me restriction for nudity. And I say, what me I do? So I say, if the platform not show them, if you do, then somebody just a report you out of malicious. Me not drink strong drink. Me not drink strong drink. So that's foolishness, man. Sure. You need watermelon flavored watermelon. Flavored watermelon. Anyway, good night, yeah? Inez, good night. More than idiot, Millicent. More than idiot. I want to talk about, I see this headline. Dr. Dars came out and spoke about the Auditor General findings up by the University of the West Indies. Up by the University of the West Indies. I feel a little tension in my head. Let me see. I ate one salty biscuit yesterday. When I out of the place, then give me one biscuit, and the biscuit they have on salt. Let me see what my blood pressure saying, in the night. Yeah. It's about and it's not bad enough. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah. So Dr. Dars came out and spoke. And would you believe me that the young affiliated arm of the Jamaica Labour Party came out saying Dr. Dars is misleading. I can look for the something. Read it exactly what I'm saying. I look at it and I say, if this is how the young folks of the island sees things, then we are in a serious predicament. We are in a serious predicament. Michael Jackson, good evening. Thank you, Prim. Hi, Tamika, good night. Long time to see. Here, we're in a serious predicament. Because if the Auditor General came out and put out a statement of all these irregularities that they find at the university hospital, and Dr. Daz was speaking about it, spoke about it from last year, I want to come out, I want to say, a mischief him a make. Right? Now we see saying a mischief him a make. I'm going to see the youth affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party coming out to say Dr. Daz, where article them, man? Dr. Daz misleading. Yeah. Okay, we'll find back the article. They're not even update them something. But they come out swinging at Dr. Daz. No, I didn't see it in a girl. Let me see if I find it. Hold on. Let me see if I find it. May I find it, late? Hold on. I'm gonna really see it. So, good night, Betty Ann. Look, well, honestly, it's a time of nervousness right now because we don't have no madman then we can drop one bomb down here. And that's what the problem is. If them are just can take out who they want, fine. But if you're not getting way, see that in go down to Venezuela, and since then capture it, they sell how much of the oil. So in go down there say the people them this and then that. But we are seeing another thing, because you're selling, I say you sell 500 million worth of oil already. 500 million worth of oil. So this man will do anything and everything. I never played this last night and I want to play Natalie Nita. Natalie Nita in the parliament. And she bring out an important thing in regards to the road in the scheme, because I was saying it to my daughter. In her scheme, where she live, that nobody fix the road. Nobody fix the road. Sometimes I can't bother. Nobody fix the road. So Natalie bring up a very important point that we need. To look at carefully.
Speak to one of the motions, and that is motion number 1. Mr. Speaker, I am in full support of this motion, especially where there's an entire section of the constituency I represent, which was inherited from Central St. Catherine, not calling the name though, where all of the roads in every single scheme is bad. And in 2026, where we have tax-paying citizens who would have made tremendous sacrifice to purchase homes, to expand those homes, and to make sure that they form community groups and have neighborhood watches and strong community unions, they have to be wearing one shoes to come out of the road. When they reach out the main road, they have to put on another shoes.
Truth.
To go into the taxi to go to
Truth.
work
Truth.
in 2026. I am most distraught for the people of Lakemore, Villemore, Strathmore Gardens, Avon Park, Monticello. I am very, very distraught because them is more than bastard children. They are forgotten and have been forgotten for decades. And I am afraid that I don't make the excuse that the road does not belong to this one or that one. I refuse to tell anybody that when I ask them to make me their representative. I believe we have a responsibility here. That doesn't matter which authority you're talking about. The municipal corporation must deal with municipal roads because we must have that kind of flexibility.
Yeah.
And we can tell you there was a REACH program in this house that took forever because the National Works Agency certainly just did not have the
Betty Ann,
capacity
put my number in
to
for
be
me,
able
please.
to manage all of what needs to be done. So we don't need to be eliminating another authority to be able to assist with the process of getting these roads repaired.
True,
Another
man.
matter,
True, man.
Mr. Speaker, relates to the debushing of unoccupied lots in these housing schemes as well. They buy the lots, they go overseas, and it is overgrown.
Some of them
and
they right
it
at
attracts
Jamaica, yeah.
rodents, it attracts criminals, it even attracts crocodile. In Strathmore Gardens, there was a crocodile in the bush on a lot. And we had to be calling NEPA to assist. And I'm simply saying this is the road on which there are 2 children's
Why?
homes.
Yeah, pretty up, man.
Right? So we are at that place
Me
now
so send
where
the number,
the member from Southwest, you
May
know
I
how
use
passionate I feel about this one. We have a responsibility to the people in the housing schemes who continue to make the sacrifice to do what we ask them to do, to work hard and buy a little piece of this rock named Jamaica. And then when they do so, they have to be hiding because they're not proud of where they live. They're demotivated. It is depreciating the value of their homes as well. Nobody no want to buy no house down there, so because of no taxis will go on those roads anyway. So they must walk from the entrance to their homes. It is time really come for true to make sure. Remember, I support you 150%. I'm also thinking that we need to attach a caveat to them people when them go to the tax office, they must pay. If they're not paying to to maintain these lots. We must cut those lots, attach the money to it, and make them pay it. Every time you pay your tax, you must pay for the maintenance of your lot. And if you don't do that, then we have other sanctions, right? And I'm simply saying, but we have to make it law so that it is not incumbent on any discretionary power of any municipality. No, the law doesn't state that you can. Put a caveat. You cannot. You cannot. So I'm suggesting that we need to move a foot further. Instead of just saying simply, let us do better. Let us put the things in place to get the better done.
I agree with you, I agree with Natalie, Mr. Man. Nobody pay the road them inside of the scheme. Them is a disgrace. The people that have their lovely houses in the scheme. A swimming pool in there. A swimming pool in some of them. Anytime I go again, I go and show you. Let me send the number to send it when you as WhatsApp number only. United States of America. Nah, get a visa. Not really matter me one bit. It don't matter me one bit. No. I see the alright, thank you, sweetheart. Alright, let me look at what she sent me.
Follow international affairs, but you're seeing a growing trend for countries to want to stem immigration. So we need to take that there's no enthusiasm on your part to really lobby the Trump administration. No, that's not what I said. That's what I've said Jamaicans to be exempted. No, that's not what I've said. I've said we will pursue diplomatic channels. We definitely will do that. But we're going to pursue even more, making our country the place of choice to live, work, do business, raise families, and retire in paradise. I think that is a greater objective that we must do. Were you caught by surprise when you saw that Jamaica was included on the list? I don't want to say too much, but one of the purposes of government is to build a periscope. To look, come out of the water and look to the horizon and see what is coming. So we already saw what could be the future. And so we have been planning and working assiduously towards that. Look, it's easy to say go and lobby But you also have to bear in mind that sometimes these things are called negotiations. And so what are you going to give, what are you going to get? So, the Jamaican public, I think, needs to understand that we are in a different era of global and geopolitical, geo-economic, and geomilitary politics. And it requires a certain smarts, a certain foresight and thoughtfulness to manage the process to keep Jamaica safe. Bear in mind, in all of this, Jamaica is still, one of the strongest countries institutionally, with one of the strongest economies that still has access all over the world.
One of your predecessors, one of your former party leaders, former Prime Minister Golding, in commenting on this, said the man who sits in the Oval Office, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Donald Trump, is a megalomaniac. Would you agree?
As Prime Minister of Jamaica, and I want to repeat that, my job is to keep Jamaica safe. We respect the policies and programs of sovereign nations. If they have a negative impact on us, we obviously will use our diplomatic channels and other channels to bring our case, to lobby, to negotiate, to make sure that the best interest of Jamaica is always pursued and maintained.
So you wouldn't agree with him?
No, I have no views on what was said by anyone else on this matter. My own view is that President Trump is, pursuing a strategic agenda, which I don't think it is a surprise to many. It's well documented. You can read several of the international articles and several of the think tanks and what they have published, so you understand what it is that they are about. We should not be fazed by this, and I think that is where the challenge is. There is an expectation that the global order is always going to be the way we thought it was. The global order changes over time. These policies are not new policies. They were pursued in the early 1920s. They were pursued before. So what we must do as a small developing country is to be able to position ourselves to take advantage of opportunities that are created and protect ourselves from threats. All right? We should not get diverted into ideological debates which are just a smokescreen and diversionary from the main issue at hand. At the end of this, we want our economy to grow. We want to remain peace. We must rebuild the areas of Jamaica that were damaged. We must be more resilient. If you were to take the era of the 70s, when we diverted into all kinds of ideological schisms and isms, anyone who went through that today, reflecting on it, could not say that it benefited us. No. And so that is what I have learned, having gone through and seen it. Obviously, I was a youngster then, but I was around then, and in the 80s, right? I am not going to make that mistake. Right? Jamaica will be, as I said, unsteady, solid, strategic, well-led grounds.
Mr. Holness, thank you much.
This bigger than you, Holness. You don't go just come out to try make it look that way. It bigger than you. It bigger than you. Both 70s. A man, you want to throw out pan, you know? A Michael Manley, you want to throw a word pan? Manley was the best. Jamaica economy at the time was booming. Good night. Thank you, Lead, for this. Now, Gwen send me this. Somebody send me this. And I want, I never play out, the Sheriff Bado the night, And I plan to play nothing more I don't listen to before I come here. But we get back to the parliament, because I never finished it last night. Um, want to listen to Omar Newell.
Well, first,
A brilliant young Jamaican
members of
PMP
OPM
to
and the
watch,
team for coming here today, but also the questions we asked at committee, and it's more in response to some of the conversations earlier, is really just to give us and to give the public a better understanding of what is happening in terms of the spend and the process to recovery. I have a few questions. So, one, I'm noting now that we've started spending from the donations received for the hurricane that were made to ODPEM in response to Hurricane Melissa. I'm seeing $208 million has been thus far spent on roofing supplies. I just want to get an understanding of whether there's a process for accessing roofing supplies. So if people in a community or a group, and in my constituency, just not going parochial member, but for example, a high school, their building department has volunteered to help to roof in a number of areas. Is there a way they can apply to ODPEM to access materials through this fund? That is one. Second, I note that a further $183 million has been committed from the contingencies fund for food hampers from the report. I'm trying to square that with the Prime Minister's commitment that we're now moving toward vouchers, and to get an understanding of whether this is to be distributed in the form of vouchers.
Good question.
If not, when are we looking to move from the distribution of care packages to the distribution of vouchers, which could have the spin-off effect of helping to stimulate the local economy? And the third question relates to just the figures in terms of food packages distributed so far. There are a number of discrepancies. So in the MLSS report, they indicate that they have distributed 21,885 food packages to date. In the December report from ODPEM, it indicated that the MLSS had distributed 242,000 care packages, a significantly higher number than the amount that they have reported as of January. And I'm also looking in your current report, even though it amalgamates the numbers from JDF and MLSS, Ministry of Labor and Social Security, it still looks significantly higher than the numbers indicated by MLSS in their reports. I just want to get an understanding of whether what are we missing in terms of us reconciling and that gap being so large.
Hey, a criminal there, you know? Listen. Criminal them. Because we know so they not give out so much care package. We know they not give out some. I said they not give out none. And I see Andre Stephen put up on something. I go play it. Him not charge me for play it. I go play when I say Andre Stevens put up. In regards to people where get there's something them know, and where the people them I say, I wanna listen to this and I go laugh. Let me see which one of them. I think this one. Let me say for it.
Let me go further tonight. Over 800 procurement activities reported to the Integrity Commission in 2020.
No, one them I want. No way.
Say one of my friend called me from up the line. And he said he get one care package from one of them from drawers.
From drawers?
So
who name drawers
the
again?
drawers them.
Yeah.
I think it's chocolate or drawers or one of them.
I'm not going to laugh when this video.
I who name chocolate or drawers again? Remind me now.
I thought the prayer.
Charles Chocolate.
Charles Chocolate. Oh.
You don't know the MP where they give the package them and we have them up a store up all long and
Yeah,
they steal.
With the steel, with the arm, the
So-
cockroach, yes.
Yes, you said it when you hold the
Fine
the
Colonel
smell
Charles
of
Jr.
cockroach.
Yes.
But he say him and his daughter in the kitchen they cook.
Yes.
So when he look now it bust the rice and the cooking, so when he look he see someone look in that float.
I want float
So
in
when
the
time in they look, no weeble in the float.
Ballot! Whoa! Yo. We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. We is a weebly in the rice.
People they hopscotch, they dandy shandy. People they swim, they dive, they do all type of things. They play West Indies. They play West Indies cricket.
No one has seen.
Me daughter, no worry yourself. Yes, when the hot water, if no more down there, when the hot water touch you, then we rise. Yeah, weeble. The rise. You see how the
No one has
the
seen. They laugh
can
at
be a
you and
sheep.
they don't see it.
They sheep.
Where is the lady? Pop story, give me.
The caramel and this flour, I feel see a little pink worm in a heat. That's what you call them.
But lady, they never see them spend $225 million in care package.
When?
The government said they spend $225 million in care package. You never hear that is what Colonel Charles said him spend on care package.
But me the shift from you, the girl, me say me feel it to me heart when the little girl go crash up in a fun till there. So me know where you know. But when me I say, all tear up Batty Jerry should I know what going on, you know, because guess what? When Jerry the liquor,
Yes.
and I talk about patch, him know about patch, you know.
Yes.
Because when for him anti-patch for him pants, them were red and green. Orange and white.
Yes.
All kind of patch. So she then a ball out from nationwide for them patch road, them on top kill off people. Because him know tear up Batty Jerry know about patch.
Cause him go through
He
the
know
patches of
about
life.
Andre.
Yes, him go through the patches of life.
Right. So then if you ball up the people and make your government through because they talk about millions and millions they go up. If they type then get the bill finish bill host them. You know see it.
Whoa.
What them talk about and Andre were weebling at the rice.
Weeble.
Like yummy.
You feel like you yam the weeble then. Well, a protein. Protein, me love a protein.
I say I laugh at tail when I listening. But it seems like them put on you sitting them we then get from the hurricane and just give them out now. So we will start take them. So what them they do a buy like a sitting for say then spend up the money. That's why them buy like a Jamaican product. To make it look like they spend up the money if we come out with. And then now them a give out the weeble flour and rice to the people then. So the question that Omar Newell asked at the PAC meeting is important. Very important. And we want answers for them. Jamaica, I tell you something. Boy. We have it hard, boy. We need real prayer. We need prayer. Let me play about this one. Let me listen to Michael Phillips now with the road thing.
Start off like the other members in commending, especially the team from Manchester, in their response right after the hurricane. But I have a few little issues that I think that if it is, and I think it's really just how it is that we operate as one entity, including the members of parliament. Because in an emergency, I find that the members of parliament are left out. And it's not just your agencies, basically right across government.
I didn't plan that.
I
didn't plan to put on one side.
Constituents in our case. And we are generally the first respondent on the ground. Ourselves and the councillors. And I find that even in the distribution of care packages, the members of parliament before, we got a pre-hurricane set of resources which could not have been even dealt with until after the hurricane, and even then there weren't any entities for us to purchase anything. But then as a member of parliament, and when I asked the ministry for assistance, we were told that they're not going. Let me start off like the other members in commending especially the team from Manchester.
So what Michael Philip is saying, and that's what everybody are complaining about, what this government is trying to do is to undermine the opposition MPs them and using their caretakers. They are spending a lot of money in them a dual project in order is a tactics them try to use to put them on the ground, make them remain vigilant and make them do the work where the MP should have done. So the people them are going to say, well, that the man they do the work. The PMP need to carry them to court. On no need to carry them, go to court. And that's the only thing. Well, I see Mark got church today now.
Good morning, church. Oh, what a beautiful morning it is. Enjoying the fresh breeze and the lovely sunshine here at Boulevard Baptist Church. The theme for this 46th National Leadership Prayer Breakfast is caring for your neighbor. And the passage of scripture that I've been asked to read is very much in keeping with that theme. The reading is from the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 10, verses 29 through 37. And I'll be reading from the New King James Version. But he, wanting to justify himself, said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Then Jesus answered and said, "A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothing, wounded him, and departed, leaving him half dead. Now, by chance, a certain priest came down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Likewise, a Levite, when he arrived at the place, came and looked and passed by on the other side. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion. So he went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine, and he set him on his own animal, brought him to an inn, and took care of him.
Yes.
On the next day, when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper, and said to him, "Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will repay you." So, which of these 3 do you think was neighbor to him who fell among the thieves? And he said, "He who showed mercy on him." Then Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." the word of the Lord.
Red, what you say? The PM ensure that the care package contain the weevil as the protein. No, the wicked and evil. The people them in the height of the something that them a keep them up, for make two people are rush and give the people them things. And then them act like say them a spend money and keep the things them where them get till the weevil take them up. And now when weevil take them up, then out there I give out the people them. No, them did say no, as Omar Newell just ask a question. They said at the end of December, no more care packages because him no love for seeing people them a run out and him a go stop and give voucher. All no nobody can get no voucher until the 15th of the month. And the weevil same thing they have still a give out. Wanna tell me how much evil more this a government can be? Wanna labor right? I want one on up on the platform tonight. Cause I have some question for last night for asking and I notice on now want come up in the box. Cause I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. If the young arm of the Jamaica Labour Party don't see the Auditor General report as credible, that they are coming out to say Dr. Alfred Dawes is misleading the country. Who mislead who? Who mislead who? Somebody tell me who misleading who? Somebody tell me who mislead who? Alright, maybe I'm gonna listen to one more question here. Where Nikisha Burchell is a PAC meeting. Well, I want you to listen back to.
Is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
Today I tabled a private member's motion in the House of Representatives calling for urgent, comprehensive legislative action to protect Jamaica's telecommunications, electricity, and water infrastructure, which are essential to national security, public safety, and economic stability. The motion marks the first private member's motion brought by the People's National Party during our current parliamentary term as we continue our work in opposition to advance policy solutions in the national interest.
Thank you, guys. Thanks.
The growing threat posed by theft, vandalism, and unlawful interference with utility infrastructure were highlighted in the motion. Note that existing laws and penalties do not adequately reflect the seriousness or national consequences of these offenses. Our electricity, telecommunications, and water systems are not ordinary pieces of property they are lifelines. When these networks are tapped, the consequences ripple through hospitals, emergency services, schools, businesses, and households. This motion is about recognizing that reality and treating these assets as the critical national infrastructure they truly are. The motion calls on the government to urgently review Jamaica's legislative and regulatory framework with a view to declaring electricity, telecommunications, and water networks as critical national infrastructure, and to develop sector-specific legislation, including the potential creation of a critical national utility infrastructure protection act. Among the proposals outlined are the establishment of specialized offenses for theft, vandalism, sabotage, or unlawful interference with utility infrastructure, stronger penalties proportionate to the national risks involved, and the designation of such offenses as indictable only, triable in the Supreme Court.
You have the floor.
The motion also urges enhanced coordination among law enforcement agencies, regulators, relevant ministries, and utility operators, as well as a review of the scrap metal industry to curb illicit markets that incentivize infrastructure theft. This is not a partisan issue.
Very valid point. Very valid point.
Jamaica's vulnerability to natural disasters, cyber threats, and organized criminal activity makes it clear that we cannot afford weak protections. As a member of parliament, I believe it is my responsibility to put forward solutions that safeguard the country's resilience and future development. The motion further recommends the establishment of a joint select committee to receive submissions from utility operators, regulators, law enforcement officials, legal experts, and civil society stakeholders, and to report back to Parliament with recommendations for modernized comprehensive legislation. I am committed to constructive parliamentary engagement. The protection of Jamaica's critical utility infrastructure is fundamental to public safety, economic growth, and national resilience.
At pnp.org.jm.
Very interesting point. We have to safeguard these things. And one of the things that he's saying, somebody going to go lose, the scrap metal thing need for scrap in Jamaica. In order, so them not know where to sell it. Because if who buy it can ship it out of the country, then can tear down the line them and the something them. This is very critical. I tell you, this Omar Newell here is going to be a star in the People's National Party. I've watched him since in the parliament. He always come with some very, very, very excellent point. And I'm watching him and Nikisha Burchell as the two young new parliamentarians. I'm watching them, how they are maneuvering. Julika Jess is doing well too. She's there, on the justice side of it. I remember when Mark Golding put his shadow cabinet, some of the Labour right was saying, if that is the face of the People's National Party, the cabinet, and they make, especially one man on the platform, a TikTok named Neighbor, he was one of them where say, Zulika Jess cannot or should not have the position that she was given as shadow minister on justice. I'm going to play her and listen to her brilliance.
Mr. Speaker, permit me to begin where the minister started. I also on this side wish to add that we support the proposed amendments to the Jury Act, and I do not know that anyone in their right mind could reasonably object to that course being pursued. The truth is, the right to being tried by a jury of one's peer brings and bears significant historical and crucial importance, and so we welcome that. I have spoken in other forum about the need for us to improve the stipend which is paid to our jurors so as to ensure that we can have sufficient members being prepared to serve as jurors. And so I do believe that we can all agree that that is a welcomed addition that we're looking forward to supporting. I must confess, though, Mr. Speaker, that I listened with a sense of apprehension as I heard discussions or reference being made to the plea Negotiations and Agreements Act, because whereas we can understand and agree that in principle that will serve and can potentially serve to actually improve the pace at which justice travels, the truth is when we still have legislation such as the Firearms Act, which contemplate and provide for mandatory minimum sentences, then it really defeats the whole purpose of having a plea negotiation bill. And people will very well take the position, Minister, that they might as well take their chances rather than to actually enter a plea. And so it is hoped that whilst we are contemplating amendments to the Jury Act and various other pieces of legislation, we will hasten to contemplate amendments to the Firearms Act, which will hopefully see us review those sections which deal with mandatory minimum sentences. And finally, as it relates to the court infrastructure, which one can understand has been very topical, particularly over the last few days. Not only should there be a discussion, Minister, as to whether we will depart from bench trials, from jury trials, and engage in bench trials, I think we should also widen the scope of those discussions to really look seriously at contemplating whether it would serve the interest of justice for us to accede to request in other domain that the court, the judiciary, be allowed to determine its own capital budget. I know that there are ample precedents in jurisdictions such as Kenya, Guyana, where all of that actually currently obtains, and that allows for better administration in terms of, because if we're being candid, and I mean absolutely no disrespect, Minister, but if we're being honest, we would agree that the permanent secretary does not go to court. The minister also does not go to court. And the persons who actually are closer to the system, who better know what needs to be done, what errors need to be corrected, what aspects of remote hearing, machineries, computers are down and need to be fixed. Those persons who are better able to address those concerns because they know the concerns, have been lived it, practiced it on a daily basis, are those who are in the courts. And so I do believe that we really ought very strong.
Only like to.
Well, I don't know. This just cut right off. This I don't know why it cut off. But that's Solika Jess. And I'm highlighting them tonight because we need to promote our party and our people who are there and show their brilliance. Show that they outdo the government. Share them around. Share them around. I can't find this one. Let me hear what Mark Golin.
The minister is misleading the House. The position of the opposition on that matter was that he had indicated that the necessary resources to restore the grid was $350 million US. And he came here to say that the government would be advancing essentially 100% of the cat bond proceeds to JPS as a loan, 150 million US, and he had nothing to say about the other 200, which he said was needed. And we were asking, how is it prudent to proceed in that way? He has flown off the handle, got extremely unpleasant about it, and has still not answered that question, incidentally. We were never against providing financing to JPS per se, but it was the absence of a proper coherent plan to fill a gap which he said existed. He said existed. And he has still not indicated what is the actual cost of restoring the grid. He has not said what the actual cost of restoring the grid is. But he's indicated that this 150 million seems to be adequate to do it. I don't know where the original $350 to $400 million US, which was what was being touted back then. What is the story with that, Minister?
No answer, I'll know. No answer, I'll know. That's what we have to deal with. No answer to these questions about the money. And we see where the whole heap of mix up. Now, another one I find interesting today, guys. Last night I spoke about it. And it's Edmund Bartlett. Can you believe this? I don't know why the Auditor General say what the finding was, but in my view, they said they find No extravagance in 155 million. Overseas trips involving Bartlett and the Jamaica Tourist Board officials. She said she found no evidence to support allegation of extravagance in nearly 155 million of overseas trips, many of which involved the tourism minister Edmund Bartlett and Jamaica Tourist Board official, say the Auditor General Department. The finding is contained in a special report. I don't agree with the Auditor General because I need the breakdown. How much trip he make for the year? And how many of the tourist board people go with them? And what kind of hotel they stay in and how much a night they pay for that, the 5-star hotel? And how much food they eat and what kind of transportation they take? That them spend $155 million for travel overseas. How are really going there? I'm good, Ron. Somebody on the live, please answer me. I know Mansa came on the other night and said the reason why all of them in our politics are because them get free money. And it is clear. What kind of trip? Hold on. Me need somebody to answer it. Them are spending money and they not spend with no conserve. And say, you know, we can't spend some one ministry for trip overseas. 155 million? How about them did go up a space or Mars? I wish part, I don't know. And what kind of trip? If a 10 trip they make for the year, I will make them spend 155 million. And what then do? I not see the breakdown. I want to see the breakdown. I not see the breakdown. And I say squandering of taxpayers' money. And the road them where we drive pan is a mess. And these people have money. I do all kind of madness. It is unacceptable. And you say all I want to up on Reddings Road, sit down with money to watch people. It is unacceptable. Every time I come here, I'm going to remind you. It pay one, all the money where them a pay on to set up monitor for watch people. That could have fixed road and buy medicine. And it's a part of the problem. It's too much corruption. It's too much. The man, 155 million. And I am asking the question here tonight. All of those overseas trips that he has made, what does Jamaica get in return? What does Jamaica get in return? What kind of negotiation in government? How much tourists him bringing from new country? What Mr. Bartlett go do with? What kind of trip him go overseas go do? And how we never hear when him go on the trip then? Oh, no, answer me. I don't understand how nobody not answer me tonight. These are questions we need for ask, you know. Is your country where you live? Everybody pay tax. Now you don't pay for property, you have to pay for the food. Boy, I don't know. I don't know. I am still trying to fathom some of these mysteries. I don't know. I'm asking if we met back something with out of the trip So because I say, yes, man, you can go overseas and the trip were successful and it generate, bringing tourism and generate money. Don't tell me because maybe I don't know. And I don't want to stay here. Nerissa Mills. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. That's what I'm here for. When I come here, whether in the morning or in the night, you must leave with some sense of what I'm saying. Anybody can answer the question? Or no can answer the question? But in carrying a brand go sell? Go sell any Jamaica brand? When go over there for? And you know, look at hypocrite labor, right? They must say money well spent. You people are really serious. I am just tired of them people. I am just tired. No, I am really upset and I talked about it last night, but tonight may I come back and talk about it. A message to the People's National Party. Open on the eyes. Because you're not open on the eye. I'm going to tell you now why I say that. Michelle Charles and Crystal Lee well know what they're going to do. So now when Crystal Lee come out and come talk, Rosemary, I'm very upset with you. You should not skin up no teeth. I don't like how not skin up on the teeth with these people, you know. I not talk about it. It's politics. You know, cannot. Alright. Darrell Valls flop himself in the parliament. And today I see him put up one video or him and Philip Paulwell share birthday. Paulwell, you should not take no picture with him. You don't have to stand on the ground, man. Them a can take picture with him and you make them a take picture with him. You don't say they want to take on the turn papi show. Good night, Clive. You don't notice that? It seems like you don't notice that. You must be vigilant.
We're doing our introductory visit to the hospital, being a newly appointed state minister.
Here this.
So I went to the hospital to tour the proposed site for a national blood collection site and also the maternity ward, as the minister has given me the mandate to lead on those two topics. So I went there to meet the team for the very first time as a newly state minister going to the hospital and also to look at what's happening there. Since I've just gotten on board and it's the first time that I'm going to the hospital, and it really was for a private meeting and introduction, right? I would not have extended that invitation. It was something like a function or to cut ribbons or something, then of course the protocol would have been observed, which is to definitely
that was no private visit.
The member of parliament. We have a proposed site now for the National Blood Collection Center there in Princess Margaret, and we're now look at the built out and hoping to get the funds so that we can do that. And once we're having the ribbon cutting, of course our member of parliament for Eastern St. Thomas will be invited. Going forward, if there's anything at all that we're doing in St. Thomas that we believe that the member of parliament should be there, we definitely will invite her.
I had a discussion with the minister.
Here she now.
Minister of State, rather. And, I am satisfied with what she said. I think she's just telling the truth. Because
it's a madness, sir.
I know the other person that we are dealing with. Heard that the Minister of State was going to tour the facility and of such, try to cash in and take over. The poor Minister of State was not even aware of the whole shenanigans.
The question for you, if you were aware that Ms. was coming here, in the private engagement, would you turn up?
No, I wouldn't have gone. Based on what she said, if an invitation was not extended to me, why would I turn up? And you see, a while ago, we had a very cordial discussion, and I understand her position, that visit, in fact, was hijacked by Michelle Charles for her personal agenda.
Oh. No. Me don't want to laugh still, you know. Me don't want to laugh. But, make them a people. Them a out smart, you know, yeah, man. Them a out smart, you know. You can't make when the people them wrong, them a come a friend and up. Good night, Ivy Morgan. They cannot, when they wrong, it wasn't a private meeting. Because if it in private, Michelle Charles couldn't know. Me not understand what I think. Me not know if you know sight, nah, you believe it. Then you know say after I make an uproar in the public domain, she will come, them will come. That's what they do. And they do it very well. It's to come and to make a good charade. Pearl, good night. It's to make a good charade of saying, oh, it wasn't so, it is so. And make it look like, oh, it's a coincidence or something like that. You have to remain focused on that. Michael, good night. How are you doing? Thank you for joining. Listen to me. We have to be wise. And I would never even in the comment, the people that I laugh and I say private meeting with media house and parading are going. And you say you are listening to what she said. That's the way honor gonna behave. If so be it. It's a sad day for the People's National Party. I have to tell you the truth. If you're not gonna skin up teeth with them when they're caught in the wrong and you accept it, me not accept it. Not accepting it. Crystal Lee know exactly what she was doing. Crystal Lee know exactly what she was doing. They know exactly what they was doing. Miss Russia, they know exactly what they were doing. Maybe you're trying to look big friend from them. But right as it is now, it's not time for that. Because these people are doing too much. They are doing too much. It's not time for that. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Whether private or not, now, like, you shouldn't tell the MP. The MP, I gotta say, she understand her. Oh, no, you're a real joker, not a joker. Yeah. Not a joker. No, not a real joker. I'm not a joker. I'm not a real joker. All right, I'm going to open the phone lines now. And if anyone want to call in, the phone lines are open and you can go ahead and call in. Anyone want to call in? Oh. Anybody want to call in tonight? Seems like nobody don't want to call in tonight. Well, I'm going to just sit down up and look at me now. Because me alone can't come here every night and talk. I'm going to have to join the conversation and make the conversation get interesting. I can't do it by myself. I want you to listen to this. The question was asked to a doctor in regards to if a man can conceive. And I want you to listen to this.
Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question
The goal is to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
can men get pregnant?
There are many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women. That
can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence should control, not politics. So can men get pregnant? You're a doctor, I think.
Science and evidence should guide medicine.
Do science and evidence tell us that men can get pregnant? Biological men, can they get pregnant?
I also think yes/no questions like this are a political tool. And
no, yes/no questions are about the truth, doctor. Let's not make a mockery of this proceeding. This is about science and evidence, and I'm asking you. You know, the United States Supreme Court just heard arguments yesterday at great length on this question. This is not a hypothetical question. This is not theoretical. It affects real people in their real lives. And you're here as an expert, called by the other side as an expert, and you've been telling us that you follow, right, you're a doctor, and you follow the science and the evidence. So I just want to know, based on the science, can men get pregnant? That's a yes or no question. It really is, I think.
I think you're trying to reduce the complexity of a lot.
I'm not. I'm trying to get, it's not complex. I'm trying to get to an answer, and I'm trying to test, frankly, your veracity as a medical professional and as a scientist. Can men get pregnant?
I think you're also conflating
this is extraordinary. No, I'm not conflating male and female. They're two different things. There's biological men and there's biological women. And I want to know, can men get pregnant?
What you were talking about is biological.
You're not going to answer my question.
Biological males.
This isn't hard, doctor. Can men get pregnant? Yes or no?
Hola. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes or no?
I would be more than happy to have a conversation with you that is not coming from a place of trying to be polarized and push.
I'm not trying to be polarizing. I'm trying to ask. I think it is extraordinary that we are here in a hearing about science and about women. And for the record, it's women who get pregnant, not men. We are here about the safety of women and science that shows that this abortion drug causes adverse health events in 11% of cases. That's 22 times greater than the FDA label, another fact you haven't acknowledged. And yet you won't even acknowledge the basic reality that biological men don't get pregnant. There's a difference between biological men and biological women. I don't know how we can take you seriously and your claims to be a person of science if you won't level with this on this basic issue. I thought we were past all of this, frankly. I can't believe we're still here talking about this.
I am a person of science, and I'm also someone here who's here to represent the complex experiences of my patients, and I don't think polarized language or questions serve that goal. I don't think they serve the American people.
It is not polarizing to say that there is a scientific difference between men and women, and I want this to be clear and for the record. It is not polarizing to say that women are a biological reality and should be treated and protected as such. That is not polarizing. That is truth. It is also, by the way, the United States Constitution, which offers unique protections to women in a variety of circumstances as women. And your refusal to recognize women as women and men as men is deeply corrosive to science, to public trust, and yes, to constitutional protections for women as women. And I think it's extraordinary that you would sit here and advance a political agenda that has been thoroughly discredited and rejected by the American people in this forum. And I'm glad we had this exchange because it is exceptionally clarifying. It is also in many ways quite depressing.
The doctor failed to answer a simple question. Michael Stamp, good night. A simple question. Can biological, why you use the term biological? Because we know all kind of people are switch up themselves. And that's what they want to do. Switch up themselves and then say science I say. It will never happen. It cannot happen and it will not happen. And the answer is no. What is hard for this woman answer? She never want to answer the question. El Sweeter, Linda is saying, is not Jamaica alone in trouble, it's the whole world, so we have to pray. What we must pray for? Tell me what line of prayer I should pray. El Sweeter, if I'm pronouncing the name correctly. The whole world in a problem. And what should I pray and say? Tell me. Because I don't understand. Sometimes we just bring up this argument about pray. But in what context should I pray? What should I say? I don't know, so I'm asking. For God to save the world? We can't pray again for God to save the world after He came and shed His blood that we can be saved. And we rebel and do the wrong thing. That's why the world in a problem where it is. So what should I pray for? I mean, I understand. I don't understand why you put with a pray because the whole world in a problem. So if I pray for God to save the world, He already come and shed blood for the world. So He make a saving station for us. But what we do, we become a rebellious being on the planet. So that's why everything is going the way it is. And I am going to say to you, and it's going to sound very hard, I am not praying for the world. I'm going to pray for myself that God will preserve me and keep me safe. And I know what I'm saying may be difficult for you to digest, but I want you to understand. The whole world in a chaos. Our cause the world for in a chaos. Because we rebel against God. He has already prepared a way for us, you know. He prepared a way for us. And we choose not to go that way. We choose our own. We walk in our own way. Our own way. The Bible says all their ways acknowledge Him and He shall direct thy path. We walk in our own pathway. We do our own thing. We become such a rebellious nation. That's why I say if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, then He will heal the land. But we not humble self. So I hope you understand that. When we come here and attack politics, some of you so-called Christian jump out and said why me attack politics and Christians shouldn't attack it. But I come here and warn you know. I warn you know before the American election and I warn you before the Jamaican election. But what you do? You choose. You choose what you want to choose. And someone have all the audacity saying that a God choose them. So if a God choose them, why should I go now and pray? Or that you say now. That's what you voice said. A God own heart and a God choose. Which me know it not go like that. But I'm just using what we all said. And then now if I pray, me not know that the prayer line. I'm not in that prayer line. Maybe your pastor will, I don't. After I make wrong choice, then we turn around and pray for the wrong choice. It's the same thing in our church. When someone will get all married and people sit down and say, you know, that's another right choice. That's not spiritual for you. When I rebel and so we talk too much, then when I start to have marital problem and run come at church, but I need special prayer. I'm not praying. If me correct you, you never listen, I'll come back to me for the prayer. I know with all we are going in our world, only until when God ready to take the breath out of this body, then this body will go to rest. But as long as God don't ready, it no matter where going in the whole world, nothing happen to me. Not one thing is going to happen to me. Alright. Let me play this clip. I'll go and play it and we'll listen. So, here where the story coming interesting now with Donald Trump banning. People are withdrawing from going to the World Cup. And 15 of the countries that Donald Trump banned qualify for the World Cup. And this is where the problem will comes in. All of one country potential opponent have been placed and banned. Donald Trump has just banned 15 countries that have qualified for the World Cup from entering the United States. There are some exceptions to this travel ban, which include athletes traveling for major sporting events. So the football team of this country and their coaching staff will be allowed to travel to the US, but their fans won't be able to follow them. All of this FIFA gave him a peace prize. FIFA president award Trump with the inaugural FIFA Peace Prize at the 26th Cup draw in Washington, D.C. But then get it before him ban a thing. So, you know, the World Cup now going to be the same as how it used to be. And I'm seeing where a lot of countries saying they're going to withdraw. Persons who purchase tickets are asking back for a refund of ticket. So you see, sometimes we do things in life, we don't look at the repercussion that it will cause. And this is where we are now with all what is happening in the world at this time under Mr. Trump. All right, so somebody send me the Thank you for sending me the article. So I love my people them, you know, because are right there for me. All right, so about Mr. Edmund Bartlett, for the review period, $154.9 million was spent. 364 million less than 519 budget for overseas travel. And it don't so much money them budget for overseas travel. And where them people, you know, so them people are wicked. You know, come out of a little poor country and them are kind of something on do. No man, I do something wrong. An annual travel cost accounted for no more than 1% of the Jamaica Tourist Board total expenditure or approved budget in any other given year. In assessing the cash flow concern, the Auditor General noted that the Jamaica Tourist Board account payable as a percentage of operational expenditure increased from 18% in 2019-2020 to 26% in 21-22-23 and 38% and 99% of account payable fell with 0 to 30-day range across the year's review. So, me never did know so much money them I get for traveling. A whole heap of money that, you know, that our country can't go no better. The country will never. Percival, I'm good. The country will never get better. Never. So when you go to the hospital, you're not going to have no machine. If you take your ECG or if you need an X-ray, you're going to have to go to them friend lab and pay. And if you cannot pay, you cannot get it. And you will never get no medicine. Certain medicine is not at the hospital. The other day, not even Panadol was at a particular hospital. Not even Panadol. Patient in the hospital, family member, advised to go and buy their medication at private pharmacies. But yet we have in a like a poor third world country. How much million I allocate for travel expense for ministers? Eh? On a wicked, on a wicked, on a wicked, on a wicked. On a wicked. Because thank you, Percival. On a wicked, on is very wicked and evil and corrupt. You can travel light, same like any ordinary citizen, because we don't have, if you want extravagance, you spend out on your own money, you too wicked. You can buy one ordinary plane ticket, and even if a first class you not travel. And you can go to a hotel, go stay where you don't have to pay, and on a bedroom you not go. And do duty and come back and save millions of dollars. And use it for patch up the road them. Use it for improve the hospital. The hospital need bed. Let me show you ever talk about that. Because look at university hospital, the whole lot of corruption. Look how much money missing under the health ministry. Up to now, $3 trillion in Jamaica cannot be accounted for. And other people just sit down and take it and shut up on the mouth. And not say nothing. And I suffer. We suffer. The road them is bad. I don't want nothing from government. I want the road. I want the schools to fix. I want the hospital to fix. Those three things is important. So when I look for heaven for come on earth. And it's only getting worse. Oh my goodness. Anybody calling in tonight? Nobody not calling tonight. How are you going? Oh, me never read out this. Let me read out this. The United States Department has announced an indefinite pause on immigrant visa. And this including Jamaica, effective January 21. Interview appointment will continue as scheduled. This announcement only affects the immigrant visa. Non-immigrant visa are not affected. They're not going to know much visa need. On the top wasting the money go up there. Stop wasting the money. On the need for boycott it too. Stop wasting your money. Stop my advice. Stop wasting the money go up at Mr. Donald Trump place. And stay here and plant breadfruit and banana. Because they're not going to go now. I know them are going to turn them down. But I dream now want to stop the flow of money. But if I me like you know, me not go up there go apply for no visa. Jamaican people, sometimes we take a stand, you know. Sometimes we need to take a stand. Both spiritually and naturally or physically. You can't just live life so no know one to live. We need to take a stand. For when we are here, so the people then forget money. So let me hear what myself.
Investments done on their properties. But how will the money be distributed?
75,000 minor damage. That would get you a couple sheet of zinc, put back on your roof. Of course, this is not meant to totally rehabilitate. This is to support. So you have to make a contribution to that process.
For persons with major damage,
We are assessing that you may have lost a section of your roof that would amount to maybe a room. But the structure is still intact. It's still functional. It's accessible. You still have some shelter, but there's great inconvenience.
they will receive $200,000. $125,000 of that sum must focus exclusively on roof repair. And for those persons severely affected,
Would mean that you would have lost probably a roof accounting for more than 2 rooms or a total loss. The structure is inaccessible or totally damaged. And for that, you get $500,000.
he went further.
Now, we know that the restoration of shelter is not only the restoration of the roof. And therefore, the assessors, the instrument that they go to the public with, would ask, what are your critical needs?
He also made this announcement.
If you are an owner of several houses, you can only get one benefit. Right? This is not for the greedy. This is for the needy.
Kimberly Petty for TVJ News.
Wanna hear? Which part $50,000 can put on one roof? Somebody do your maths for me, please. 1 bedroom, 1 boardhouse. And you're going to put on some upright and zinc and pay a workman. Tell me, how much sheet of zinc you need? How much piece of 2x4 and lat you need? And zinc nail? And you have to pay somebody for this, and body not do nothing for free. Type in the comment and tell me how much money can put on a 1 bedroom house top. Or maybe a 10 by 12. How much a sheet for zinc? Maybe that's what I should have asked. How much for a sheet of 12-foot zinc? Because you can't go buy 10, you need to buy 12 so that it can go over. Anybody here know the price of the zinc? Type in the comment. Double tap up the screen. Over TikTok or YouTube, double tap up the screen. Come on, man, somebody type in. How much for one sheet of zinc? A 12 feet zinc. I'm gonna say only must say a compound J. Lewis, and that is all political, yeah? You see him going up there? A political motive. Political motive. Why am I going up there? I'm waiting on someone to type in the comment. Nobody know the price we think. Hold on, I don't even know myself. Let me say if I get down. Let me see if I can. Ricky not now gone. It's a 2,000 to 4,000. In Jamaica, a sheet of zinc. Roughly 2,000 to 4,000 Jamaican dollar. If 4,000, that'd be for the 12 foot or something. Maybe the 10 inch, 10 feet one would be for two. And I think you need at least 10 sheet. Fix the house top goal. A 40,000 that's all alone. No, 40,000 alone right there. So you're not gonna buy the two before them yet. And the lot. And the workman. And from hurricane blow until every day we are here, so the people that might get this, that might get that, and them not, and we're not seeing it. Just I drag it out for people and their family have to do it, and then him have less to do. And then me tell you the trick of them already, you know. Me tell you the trick already. So it shouldn't be hard for us to understand.
This is the ever-smiling Pauline Brown Hanley. Those familiar with the educator of 31 years, now a vice principal, are accustomed to. But the mother of 5 daughters, 3 biological and 2 she has fostered,
Me telling I said 2026 now go start good. Me telling I say now start good, you know. Me telling I said 2026. I told you that.
Before the midterm elections in November, Donald Trump is going to declare martial law. See, Trump knows he's so unpopular, he's not only going to lose the House, but the Senate. And if that happens, he's going to be impeached, removed from office, possibly tried, convicted, and sent to prison for the rest of his life, along with his corrupt cabinet. Trump is never going to let that happen. He'll declare martial law so none of us can leave our homes or our neighborhoods and vote. And we'll be left with Trump as a dictator indefinitely. Our one way out, through voting as a democracy in these midterm elections, is never going to happen, my friends. I'm sorry to say that, but I've known this criminal for 30 years. I know how sick he is. People think he thinks like a normal person and he wouldn't do something like declare martial law just to avoid an election. That's where not knowing him comes into play.
Oh,
This is a
thank
very
you,
sick
G.
guy.
Lewis.
These elections,
Vian, good night,
never
sweetheart.
gonna happen.
You just got back. Why you spend a long time out? You spent a long time out, girl. No. I following the Noel Maitland case. I think I talked about it last night. So they must say no. Two jury fall ill. So the case halt.
Corinne, what matters?
I said, man, I'm sorry I couldn't be one of the jury.
We are following some breaking news. This is from the New York Post saying Iran issues a sickening assassination threat against Trump. Quote, this time it will not miss the target.
So we're hearing just a little while ago the IRGC has threatened to assassinate Donald Trump. While we're hearing that there's a lot of military movement happening in the Middle East regarding the United States, as we're hearing that war could be imminent. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest headlines. I'm going to be sharing with you the live feed so you can see it for yourself. Iran issues a sickening assassination threat against Donald Trump. This time,
Saudi Arabia refused. Saudi Arabia airspace warning. Breaking Saudi Arabia refused U.S. use of airspace for attack on Iran. One thing we can tell Mr. Trump what going to happen down there, son. You see all of them people down there, son? The Muslim world down there? Them not afraid of dead. Like we in the Western world. Remember them the suicide sitting, bombing, Them not gonna allow you to come on their space and now care if you see them down there live bad. Then them a go that thing not gonna look good, This thing not look good. This thing not gonna look good.
You alright? Handcuffs, boy.
We are going to need a lot of skilled laborers. A lot. And to that end, I'm very pleased to announce that the government of Jamaica, through the Heart NSTA Trust, will roll out the Building Resilience and Inspiring Development through Guided Experience Bridge. Heart is the best at acronyms in this entire government. To build
What is the past tense of seek?
The Jamaica Labour Party is in mourning today as we mourn the loss of a stalwart, Christopher Bovell, a former treasurer, a senator, a member of the standing committee of the Jamaica Labour Party, played his role. He gave wise, quiet, and solid advice to the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party during the turbulent 70s. His calmness also helped a lot of candidates who went through this difficult period. His contribution to nation building through the legal fraternity.
Yeah, me know a phone system, man, and everything that come up
the
back.
Jamaica Labour Party wishes to extend our sincere condolences to his family and letting them know that the JLP stands with them and will be walking with them during this period of bereavement. Christopher David Bovell, a true stalwart, a true patriot, a true Jamaican. Walk with Basris.
Most people don't. Man, to go be a people like big.
If you're sending me a request, type in a comment, make me say, because sometimes I come up in the something and then when I add it, then I'm not gone. So I don't know how it work like that. But anyway, people, we are living in serious times and I pay mad people around the world. So right now, we just have to prepare ourselves. Prepare ourselves.
An important role of the Member of Parliament is to be a bridge between constituents and the rest of government. Very pleased to have the Indicom Commissioner himself, Mr. Hugo Faulkner, and Deputy Commissioner Yannick Taylor Wellington, first female Deputy Commissioner, here in St. James West Central on the heels of the unfortunate fatal shootings on New Year's Day in Granville. I said to Nambia, the mother, that she can be assured that the shooting which resulted in the death of her son would be impartially investigated. You can be assured that the matter will be investigated.
By law, Indicom is mandated to investigate the conduct of the security forces that result in injury or death or abuse. We wish to assure the families that Indicom zealously guard our mandate, which is to be independent, which is to be objective, and which is to be impartial.
As much as we can, we are fast tracking all the forensic as much as it is in our control. Find out when it is that it's a post-mortem so that we can get answers that the family so desperately seeks.
In addition to the work of our forensic team, our investigative team, our family liaison officers who are also trained investigators make contact with these families to provide empathetic and sympathetic contact. We have also had instances where we have ensured that persons get confidential social medical intervention. So this is investigation with social intervention referral. There are instances when incidents occur. The witnesses may not come forth the immediate moment, but sometimes after reflection, consideration, contemplation, they show up and we'll accommodate them.
I'm really pleased to hear of the additional services that are being channeled to victims and their families and also to witnesses. I'm very grateful, Commissioner, Deputy Commissioner, that not only did your team, local Western team, go on the scene, but both of you have taken the time to come from head office in Kingston.
Right, and this is not a new gesture, Madam Member of Parliament. We appreciate when the elected political representatives have dialogue with us, and we have found the cooperation on both sides of the political divide.
Commissioner, I will continue to collaborate with your office to ensure that the witnesses will stay with the process and that we can complete the work.
Right, okay. Thank you, Madam.
Well, I hope something come out of this case because the little 4-year-old child never deserved that. And that shows that the policing or whatever army or whatever them be wasn't protecting the people of Jamaica.
He's going to get a third term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president 20.
It's lunchtime.
He doesn't ignore your messages.
So, my viewers, we are listening out now for United States for go strike Iraq. And then say, so we just keep our ears open up on edge. But
You spoke out, obviously, against the administration's version of events in the Good shooting, and the White House came out after you did that, and they've told The Hill, I just wanted to quote for you, this is just in response to what you said yesterday, that videos have debunked Ilhan Omar's lies. The ICE officer was clearly struck by Good's car. Omar should acknowledge the truth rather than lie about law enforcement and incite more violence against them. What is your response to them? And I guess as part of this, if it turns out that the goods card did bump the agent, right? If that happened, does that change anything about how you see things and the fact that this still shouldn't have happened?
I mean, it is the most BS statement again that the administration can put out. You see this officer clearly go in front of the car as she reverses. You see his hands on the car. You see his feet is very far away from the wheels of the car. So there was no possibility that he might have been afraid of getting hit by the car. And so it is a clear PR. It's a defense of a clear murder that we see on TV by the administration. And it is shameful and it should not be acceptable. It's unconscionable. And I stand by everything that I've said.
Are you comfortable, though, with the word murder?
I am very comfortable with the word murder. There is no conscionable way in which you watch the video that the administration itself has produced, and you do not see this person, this officer. Not only does he shoot her in the face, but you see two more shots being fired on the side of the driver's window. There is no way to explain this outside of it being a clearly thought out murder and execution of this woman.
Boy, may I tell you, everything turned upside down. Every single thing is turning up. So I'm not only going to dwell only on Jamaica news, No, we have to
as
keep.
was stated earlier,
We have to keep.
I've been informed that media news outlets such as Fox.
We have to keep an eye out now upon the world. So you see, come back that I came out. I just came out because I realized that the church is misled over the years. So we don't watch not the way I go on in our environment, and we just say, oh, we are just holy roller born again believer in the liberated power of Jesus' name, right? But anything that affect politics affect everybody. All you will say you don't vote or not. It's a way how the system set up. So whether you want to take part or you don't want to take no part, it don't make no difference. At the end of the day, whatever decision is made will impact every single one of us who are alive life. If the doctor tie up herself, the doctor tie up herself, dummy. Let me say it again. Let me reiterate my statement. Doesn't the church, whether you want to believe it or not, whether you want to speak publicly or privately, whatever the governments of the country do, it impacts every single citizen that live in that country. Everybody. It impacts you some way, shape, or form. Just remember that. So when I take the time out to come here and show you what is happening, because you're not going to listen, you're not going to look. So I love to tell you. So that you can hear it. And that's one of the reasons why I come on. And I love what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. So, once again, it's been my pleasure and an honor. And I thank God for these platforms. We have evolved, coming a far way. Imagine, look where we're coming from. What I remember is when you want to transmit a message, the fastest way was a telegram. That's what I come and saw. I don't know what you may have. Maybe letter writing before. And it take how long to reach its destination. And as time goes by, we have so many different ways in the seconds We have WhatsApp, we have Instagram, we have Snapchat, we have Facebook, we have YouTube, we have TikTok, we have all kind of something. All kind of something we have now to bring across information. And we need to use it up. Nobody talk, go watch you one what the things that everybody have it's a platform that everybody have a choice to do what they want to do. Use it the way you want to do it. And you can bring a message across. Use it up. You don't seem to use it. Use it up. And send messages out that somebody can hear. So I thank you again for being here. And have yourself a great night and let your sleep be sweet. Let your sleep be sweet. And if it is the will of God, I'll catch you later. Bye. Thank you, Con Henry, for tapping up over TikTok for me as usual. Have yourself a great night and I'll catch you again. Bye. And over on YouTube, again, top up the screen, man. We need 3 more for get to 50. You know, we really get slow up on the platform, you know. We have to do a little better. Have yourself a great night. Have yourself a great night, and if all is well, I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye for now.